like you all know, every Friday at 9 p.m. we come here to help you in some way or the other to be able to ace your career, to grow in your career. We definitely want to include all of you, but we specialize in mid-age people with 12 to 15 plus years of experience who go through various challenges in their career. Probably it could be stagnation where they're stuck in a particular company or a role and they are not able to grow, or they want to move out and take up a new job and they're stuck in the same role and they don't know how to really approach a new company. Or probably we also work on when you're wanting to shift careers, and that phase between one career to the other, that shift could be in different ways, but that phase is called as transition for all of us in different ways. So today's topic is all about career transition.
First introduce us.
But yes, of course. But before we get into that, let me introduce myself. I'm Nutan. I'm a career and a life coach.
Yeah, I'm Dheeraj, a career coach, life coach, and business and relationship coach. For all the viewers who are there today, we are going to talk about transition coaching, because life itself is a transit, and you need to transit, otherwise you get bored. Okay, and that's why we have called some few guests with us. We've invited them who have done this transition so smoothly and having a great life. So we have 3, and one is going to join. So let's give a huge round of applause. Let's invite Yogesh, Varun, Kshitija, and Vidya. Thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
So if you all can take one moment, you can start. I mean, Yogesh, you can start. Just give a brief introduction.
Just a brief introduction.
Small introduction. Yourself.
Hi everyone. Good evening to all of you. My name is Yogesh Pawar, and I am working as an entrepreneur.
Wow. Great. Varun.
My name is Varun, and I'm working as a sales manager in one of the leading banks in India.
Great. Yes. And the lady.
So good evening, everyone. I'm Kshitija, and I have been working into sales and client relations. Thank you.
Okay. Like we had started to share that today we are talking about career transition. And career transition means a phase where you're moving careers, which could be probably you've been working as an employee. You want to become a self-employed person. You want to start your business. So you're going through a transition from being an employee to becoming an employer.
Yep.
Or you would be running your own business and now you want to move into the corporate role and you want to go there and do some kind of specific job that you truly like or that is your strength. That's one of the transition. Transition also could be, I'm an individual contributor and now I have to move for my career into leadership role and I don't know how to do it. So moving from an individual contributor to leadership. Or probably I'm working in a very small company and now I want to take up a job in an MNC. I don't know how to do that. I need a transition. Transition also today, because we work in global companies which exist across the globe. So how do I transition from one country to the other? But all these phases are very difficult phases in life. So today, usually it's me and Dheeraj, we are sharing the knowledge. We are sharing about our transitions, which we have done so successfully. But today we've invited some people who've done it themselves. And when you listen to them, you'll realize that transition, though it is a little difficult, but it is doable. So let's really start from Yogesh as our first guest. Yogesh, why did you want to, what were you doing before you thought of career transition? Let's start from there.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So I was working as a business head in one of the multinational companies, and basically they are the international property consultant. So I was managing the interior fit out projects. I was heading a P&L, and these projects were being managed from concept to completion. So I was into an industry of real estate.
Okay. Varun?
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. So I love food and I'm a very foodie person and I love connecting to people, making new friends. So I started my own cafe immediately. Business of coffee shop. I was running my own coffee shop.
So you love food, that we can see and tell you. Great. Yes, Kshitija, what were you doing before you made that transition?
So I was working in a BPO sector in quality department before I decided to make the transition.
Great. Vidya?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So before I could make this career transition, I was working as a freelancer. I used to provide Mandarin, Chinese language to people across Pune.
Great. So we have people from different industry doing different roles, all of them doing something, and then they thought about transitioning. So what was the reason for them to move from one phase to the other is what we will get to know from all of these guys. So keep your ears, eyes open. If you want to take down notes, this is the time you can do it.
I think all those people who want to do it are but still procrastinating. Okay, because one thing which is important, that you do this transition at the right time, at the right phase, at the right everything going on. If you miss on that, then you miss the bus. All these people will understand, that how they did it at the right time. So that's why we've called these guests, and we're so grateful that they've come and they're going to share their journey. This is specifically for all those people who want to transit, but they're procrastinating. So let's start with Yogesh.
Yes, sir.
So Yogesh, why did you think of transitioning? You were doing well in your career. Why did you think that you want to make a move?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So basically, I was really doing good, and while I was actually progressing in my professional career, well, at one point of time, I felt that I was doing a job, and with additional responsibilities, with the increase in time frame, I felt that I was losing my freedom. I actually I always treated freedom as my core value, and that
Okay.
was getting compromised. That was one reason I thought I should do a career transition, look out for something else which would really take care of my core value. The very important thing why it triggered to make a transition shift was because of this compromise. It actually started impacting my health too.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
that is.
yes. So I think one of the key problems for most mid-age people to make a transition is either health or it is work-life balance. So they are not giving enough time to the family because at the mid-age, children are needing you. Your people at home, that is your elderly people, your parents are needing you. And if you cannot do them when they need you, is somewhere which starts bothering you. And that's how it starts affecting your emotional, mental, and physical health. So one of the reasons which Yogesh just mentioned, and that was the reason he wanted to transit. Varun, what about you?
So initially, my cafe was doing really well, but soon I realized that it's not easy to run a coffee shop. And there were two major problems which I faced. First was constant flow of money, which is required, and secondly, a lot of human power, working power, that is people. So eventually, my cafe started running in losses, so much so that I had to borrow money for my day-to-day running of the cafe. So this was the issue which I faced.
Right. So again, cash flows, business, small businesses, when they start, they do really well, but then they get stuck in cash flow. And basic reason is whether I should have a manpower or I should focus on what more is required in terms of ingredients for my business. And when I do both, I start making losses, and then I don't know where to move next. And that is where most of the business try to shut down. So Varun is again a classic example of that, because your passion can be something that you can be driven, but it necessarily may not convert into a business unless you don't know how to run a business. So that was your reason of thinking of transition. What about you, Vidya?
Okay, so I had three primary reasons, very important reasons why I wanted to make a shift from being a freelancer to becoming a full-fledged corporate professional, right? The primary reason being, at that point in time, I was seeking some financial stability in my life. Although I was making some decent amount of money through whatever freelancing I was doing, a steady monthly income was what I was looking for. So that was the primary reason why I wanted to make this shift. Secondly, I had this huge fear in myself about appearing for a corporate interview and exploring all the corporate opportunities. I always wondered what people do behind those glass buildings. I always had this fear, so somehow I wanted to overcome this fear. So that was the second reason. Third and the most important reason, as Yogesh mentioned, was due to this freelancing kind of a profile, I was leading an erratic lifestyle, right? And that took a toll on my health. So I wanted to somehow, streamline my energy, my focus, and start leading a more organized kind of a life. So these were the primary reasons, why I wanted to shift from a freelancer to a full-fledged corporate professional.
Fantastic.
Fantastic, fantastic.
So
See the
again,
beauty of
yes,
life here, okay?
absolutely.
One person left the corporate world because he felt it's a very erratic life and that's hampering my health is so much of stress. The other person is left of freelancing or an entrepreneur kind of stuff because it is very erratic and I thought I need more balanced life. That's amazing. Life is so amazing
And unique to each
unique to
person.
each one of us. What we experience is so different. Yes, Shitija.
So, as you all know, in a BPO, you have to be working in shifts. So, but after marriage, it would have been very difficult to manage. Hence, I decided to take a break. Later, I had my daughters. They grew up, and there came a time when I decided to restart my career after a break of 12 years.
Yeah. So 12 years, if you thought of restarting, why did you not go back to your previous industry?
I felt like I would be, like there have been so many changes, and it's a gap of 12 years. So, like I felt that I'm outdated. I'm not well versed with the current trends, and I felt old to be joining the BPO.
So, guys, again, I probed into her further because there are many women who, due to common reason, one is nurturing, raising a family. Second reason for women is when they have to take care of elderly people at home. These are generally the times when having a full-fledged career becomes a challenge, and they take a step back, and the husband takes the role of a provider and the wife step back to raise the family. But after that, when things are settled, you again want to make a comeback, and that time you question that there is a huge gap that has happened. What I was doing 10 years back probably is not existing today, and that is the truth, because that is even faced by people who are working. People who are working 10 years back and today what they're doing is absolutely different because of the technological advancement, AI coming into the role, lot of changes coming in the industry, and that is why they also feel that they would want to do something else and not continue in the same role that they were doing, even though they would have had an experience of 8 to 10 years. So thanks, Kshitija, for letting us know. Now all of you who are listening to us, I would love to hear from you. What is your reason if you're looking for a transition in your career? What is that something that you're missing in your life, and you're having a question whether I should do it or no, but you feel that this would be better for me? Where is that transition that you're
So,
wanting?
if you can put in the chat box, amazing. If not, please keep a page and pen and write down somewhere that why do I want this transition? Because why is more important than what I want to do. So write down that why, and all those who are going to watch this later, please write down. Just pause it and write down why are you thinking to transit. Let's go ahead.
Yes. So Yogesh, how did you handle this transition?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, that this particular pressure and stress was, taking a toll on my health. And when I actually planned that I should look out for something, probably, this was around 16, 17 years of experience, what I have worked into this industry.
Correct.
I felt that, I should seek some guidance from an expert. And at that point of time, to overcome this particular challenge, what I was going through in my life, I came to know that there are people, experts available in the industry who can do and guide us, and they are into career coaching. Hence, I started for searching a life coach. At that point of time, I had an opportunity to meet Nutan ma'am on LinkedIn. So when I connected with her, and there was a session which was being held between me and Nutan ma'am and Dheeraj sir. I still remember this was, I think, more than 4 to 5 hours, which was actually split among two sessions. And while madam and sir, they heard me, and they said, and they identified me as a compromiser. And this was something which was an eye opener for me, because they told me that all your life you have compromise, and you have a different potential altogether. So that was the point where I decided to seek further coaching from both of you. Thank you for that. And then while I was going for a discussion, they said that, Yogesh, you will have to first change your identity, and that will only happen by you will have to change the mindset first. So that particular transition from changing mindset from scarcity to growth. So there was small homework which was been given. I started doing enchantation, and while that shift in mindset, I decided that by end of 2023. So this was somewhere in the beginning of 2023. I actually written down as a part of that by end of December, I will quit the job and I will start my. So that's how whatever I have gained over a period of 20 years, that experience, I have started my own firm. This is into the same industry.
Fantastic. Yogesh, that's really a wonderful decision. Uh, you thought of hiring an expert. I'll come back to that later. But first, let me go to Varun.
Yeah. So, as I said, I was not doing well in my cafe, and that time someone told me that I should think about hiring a coach, and that's when I went and met Dheeraj sir and Nutan ma'am, and the process of coaching started that time. And I got very much breakthroughs. So basically, I went for coaching to increase my profits and revive my cafe and coffee business. But as the coaching session started, there was a lot of breakthrough, and I realized that I'm a very good manager, but not a great entrepreneur. So that's the time when I decided I'll shut down my coffee shop and enter into a corporate world. Now the challenge was that which company to go, what to do. I had no idea. So again, sir and ma'am helped me to chalk down all the business, what I'm going to do. In fact, we had a lot of sessions where we finally figure out that I'll be working in sales into a banking and finance industry. Then the process started where we started preparing my CV, started updating my profile. We also started working on how to give an interview to the HR, to the senior management, and finally I got a breakthrough where I got a job as a sales manager in one of the leading company in banking sector and in the leading banking financial institute. I was working as a sales manager. That was the first breakthrough which I got.
Great. So this is about really the process where we identify the strengths of people coming to us. We may have an idea that this is what I want to do, but can I really do it? Are those capabilities there, or do I need to work on something else? This is the SWOT analysis that we do for every client, and that is where we can help them understand where they really be good at.
In short, who are you? That's very important to know. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a manager? Are you an artist? It's important to know that because he's a hardcore manager doing a role of an entrepreneur. That's why he failed. Now he's a manager and he's doing so good, doing so well. So I think that's very critical. Yes, Vidya.
Okay. So when I decided to make this transition from a freelancer to becoming a corporate professional, I applied all the techniques on this earth on my own to do this transition. But I fell down on my knees, on my head, and I failed miserably. That's when somebody told me, why don't you hire a professional coach? There are coaches who will help you make this transition. So fortunately, I came across the both of you, Dheeraj sir and Nutan ma'am. So they worked on two aspects. One aspect is they worked on me, and there were a few very practical strategies that they adopted, which made the transition, very smooth. So during our initial sessions, they made me enlist all my strengths, my weaknesses, my fears. So I was able to identify myself there, right? And through the sessions, they guided me on how to exploit or harness my strengths to the fullest, play to my strengths. And I was slowly able to overcome my fear about the corporate, world as well. And coming to the practical part, this was really amazing. Number one is that first is upskilling. So they helped me appear for, after a long time, maybe after school or college, I started appearing for these examinations and certifications like a kid, and they helped me ace through that as well. So this boosted my confidence to a great extent. So I thought, okay, I'm back in the game. So one was upskilling. Second is they helped me create my LinkedIn profile, and Nutan ma'am helped me draft my resume, first formal looking resume, right? Number three was listing out all the companies. And when I listed out, I saw many options coming through that. So there were two sets. One was, the companies where I wish to apply and where I wish to work. And second were those companies where my skill sets would get utilized to the fullest. So when we matched, it was a long list, and that again, skyrocketed my confidence to a different level, right? And last but not the least, the mock interviews which both of them had with me. I mean, if you pass their interview, I was damn sure that I can sit in front of any HR and could crack their interview, right? So by adopting these very powerful strategies, I was able to crack my very first corporate interview itself, and I landed a job in an MNC with a very handsome salary package. So that was, yeah. So that is how I transitioned from being a freelancer to becoming a full-fledged corporate professional.
Great.
Great.
Kshitija, what about you?
So, at this point of life, after a break of 12 years, you all can only imagine what life state I would have been. So, so I was feeling completely stuck, had many, many inhibitions and many negative mind blockers, which actually stopped me from even asking for help, forget taking the right action. So that's when someone recommended me to both of you, Nutan ma'am and Dheeraj sir, for coaching. Uh, to my surprise, when I started, coaching, the tools that you have provided, I can say subtly, it helped me. Those tools helped me transform my mindset. But of course, it wasn't an easy journey to, coach someone who has been stuck for 12 years. And like they had been extremely patient and forbearing with me throughout. So great. I'm really grateful to both of them. Hence, I cannot enough stress the importance of having a coach alongside with you in this transformation journey. So, during this process of coaching, they have helped me identify that I would be doing better where I could interact with people and build up on the background I already had in sales and the services. So that's how they helped me, smoothly transition into sales and client relations, which are where I'm working right now.
Great. So, Yogesh, you said that you looked at LinkedIn and you found my profile. What made you decide that you should go ahead with us?
Yeah. So the very important thing, one was, as I mentioned, that you have identified me as an compromiser. That was one thing. And then while you clearly pointed out this, I thought that this is a time where I should really take the guidance, so that whatever drawbacks or whatever improvements can be made, that can be made through this career coaching. So I just wanted to tell one thing, while that the result literally started showing immediately within 3 months. Actually, I was been hired as an associate director with one of the multinational company, and that triggered me that I should continue this coaching, and I should get coach only from Dheeraj ma'am and Dheeraj sir and Nutan ma'am.
Thank you, Yogesh. So I have, for all of you listening to us, it's very, very important to understand that instead of just figuring out what do I do, you should actually reach out to people whom you feel would be people who can guide you. And not just look at that, but actually have a first session with them and then see whether there's a trust established. I can promise you that if it works the first time, it works, otherwise it doesn't work. So you should not stay in that hesitation, but reach out, take charge, look at the coaches, have that one-on-one session, and at the end of the session, if you feel yes, he's the right person or she's the right person, just go ahead. Don't stop yourself, because that's the result we are talking about. A director level job in a MNC, that's what the experience
In 3
is.
months.
Just 3 months.
3 months.
Thank you, Yogesh, for sharing that. Varun, so how has this transition really helped you? What are you doing now, and how is it really, if you say that you're looking at your career, how are you placed today?
Okay, so after working for a few years in a private banking sector, then I was told by you that I should look options in an MNC, which is a multinational bank. So again, the process started where we again started working on how to give interviews, list down all the MNC banks, and finally I was able to crack and got into a biggest multinational bank So there I performed really well. I was number one all 4 quarters for all 4 years. I was the highest incentive earner throughout my stint in that bank. And thank you. And then moving on again for the growth, I left that bank, and now today I'm working with one of the India's largest bank, where I'm doing really well. My profile is really great. I'm happy with my job, and I'm so excited to go and work every day. And here also, I'm among one of the top managers in the country, and I'm doing really well. So
Fantastic.
that's how this happened.
So it's not only you being happy, but the company is also happy with you and believing that you're a right person hired so that they are really getting the targets that they were interested in. So I'm really happy that you're doing successfully in your career. If you look at the income
Yes.
that has multiplied, how many times would be the money that you're making from the time that you started in your corporate journey? Till you do the math, we'll go to Vidya and
So
ask her how successful has been this transition.
Okay, so for me, as I mentioned, my primary reason behind this transition was to gain financial stability in my life, right? So this corporate opened doors for that. So once I started getting a steady income, I could not only fulfill my own desires, but now I've started taking care of my people, my parents, my family, and most importantly, I've been able to do all that I wish for my friends circle, right? So that has given me, I mean, that's the biggest breakthrough I would say, of my me getting into this corporate world. And of course, this corporate journey has been a one of learning and growth, for me, both professionally and personally. So I have earned a promotion. In addition to this, uh, I have also, uh, started. I have not only that, I have earned a lot of accolades, rewards, recognitions, and recently I've also been part of this women in leadership program, right? So I am breaking the ceiling right now, and now I'm in the process of transitioning from being an individual contributor to becoming a people's manager. So that would require leadership skills. So that again is an area where I require a lot of, there is a lot of scope for me to improve. So Nutan ma'am is currently coaching me on that, and I'm sure I'm going to break that glass ceiling as well and soar higher, right? So overall, if I put this professional corporate journey has been a very joyous one. It has been a very fulfilling journey for me, and of course, a very gratifying journey. So thanks to the both of you.
Thank you. Yes, Shidija.
So for me, from an uncertain future, to be able to be financially independent again, and moreover, I think doing something out of my life. So I'm really excited to work, and I'm really happy at a place where I'm right now. Thanks to Nutan ma'am and Dheeraj sir again for that. And I can say I have no reasons to complain at this point of time. I'm extremely happy. But I would like to continue with the coaching, as I know I have a lot of things career wise to explore, grow, and evolve. So
Shidija,
I will be leaving the coaching so soon.
one more answer that I want from you.
Yeah.
That once you've got back into your work life, how has it really impacted you as a person and how has it impacted people around you?
I think, yeah, I feel I'm excited, and earlier it was like nothing to look forward to as such, but now when you are creating something or you have something to look forward to, there's a different excitement in the day in your approach, and of course there is happiness around when you yourself are cheerful. The woman of the house, if she is cheerful, the environment automatically transforms. So everything changes. Yeah. So this
Fantastic.
has been, I think, the major breakthrough,
Great.
I
Great.
can say. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Shitija. And Varun, did you do the math?
Yes. So I was first when I was running my cafe, I was super negative. That was minus minus. As I said, I'd taken loans, and there was a lot of challenges out there. And I cannot calculate in terms of percentage, but today I have my own house, I have my car, so I have built up everything with my corporate life, with the job which I'm doing. So that's what that transition happened, and thanks to both of you, because it was not only emotionally difficult. Sorry, it was not only financially difficult, but it was emotionally very difficult to make that transition, as I was very closely associated with my cafe or my own business. So it's all because of you. Otherwise, it would have been it was a complete mess that time. So that's what I can say.
That's amazing.
Great. So thank you very much, Varun, Kshitija, Vidya, Yogesh, for coming here and sharing your success stories. And we are really fortunate and privileged to be a part of that transition for you.
Absolutely. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to serve you guys. And it feels so happy to see you living such an amazing, happy, fulfilling life. I think it fulfills our purpose. So thank you very much, guys.